Hello and good evening, and let me lower that music. That was loud. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to a photo editing stream. I am your friendly neighborhood Eroivis, and we're going to be editing the film that I developed live on stream last week. So, welcome on in. We'll get started shortly. We're about to have an ad break because that's what Twitch does. So I'll be back after the ad break. I figure they'll run that break and I will get started on my spiel. Well, while that ad break is running, since you people who are being watching this on YouTube later on, without the ads, so this is a film editing stream. It is also another charity stream, as is the case. This will be for the Trevor Project, as again, I'm doing all month long. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway in a little bit on the stream, and I will be giving you details about that very shortly. And I'll remind the Twitch crew, and for anyone who's watching, I'll tell them about that after the ad break runs. So, but yes, so we've got plenty of film to develop. And if you are coming on in for the first time and you want to know what this is all about, I am raising money for the Trevor Project, which is an organization that provides critical resources and counseling services for LGBTQ youth that are living in unsafe conditions. They're living in fear. They're living in fear because it's unsafe for them to be themselves. And it's something that I wish I had when I was a kid. So if you want to contribute, the donate link will pop up in the chat every so often, but you can pull it up at any time. Pull up at any time by typing in !donate. And again, !donate will pull up the link. If you can donate, I would very much appreciate it. I'll love you. And just have all my thanks. But if you're unable to donate, I understand. Money is tight. I get it. All I ask is that you spread the word. Spread the donate link far and wide. I'll put it in the chat for you. So we'll get started here tonight. So a little background here. So on July 4th, I decided to celebrate some of it by going to another old cemetery. And there's an old cemetery about half an hour south or so where I live. And the cemetery is the Hudson City Cemetery in Hudson, New York. And there's two sides of it. There's the old section and then there's the new section. The old section is not in active use anymore, and it dates back to about 1775. And it is now only used very rarely. There are some recent burials in there, but that's probably for, if somebody has family in there and they want to be buried with their families. Um, that's pretty much all that side gets used for. Then you have the new section of that same cemetery. That's the side that's in active use. But I went there with my Pentax 645 and broke it out for the first time this year. It was nice. It was the first time all year that I had shot some film, and oh man, I really, really needed that. And yeah, I developed the film 1 week ago today, live on Twitch. This is what developed. So the film that I used was my standard Ilford Delta medium format film, and I scanned it on my usual flatbed scanner, my Epson Perfection 800, and we're going to be working on these images tonight. If we get a couple more people on, I will then open the floor for a giveaway. So I'm doing giveaways for every $100 that we raise as a way of saying thank you for adding to the cause. So we hit the $200 mark at the end of my last stream, so I wasn't able to do a giveaway then. So the giveaway tonight, once I start that, it is going to be... the winner's going to get a 4x6 framed print of any of the images that I developed tonight. Yeah, let's get on and do that. So let's start with this one. So do I have the full one? Yes. So I'm editing this. I'm going to be editing both of these, actually. So we're going to start with this one. This dates back to 1789, and this one was pretty recently cleaned, and so we've got the text on this really clearly. So it says, Hannah, daughter of Dr. Levi and Mrs. Martha Wheaton, died February 13, 1789, aged 9 months and 13 days. Get your kids vaccinated, people. So we're going to start with this one. Now, it's all black and white film. It's all black and white film, but in order to edit it, with the settings that I like to edit it as, I had to convert all of these images to a color image. So they've all been converted. I scanned these using the Epson grayscale settings and then converted them all to Adobe RGB later. And when I do that, it means I can edit them right in Capture One. So that's what we're going to do. And already we've made a much more dynamic image. Converting these to color also allows me to use the HDR sliders, which I think is my favorite feature of Capture One. Now, the conditions that I shot these images at were not the best conditions. It was bright, sunny day in a minimal cloud cover. Very minimal cloud cover, so it was bright and harsh, so not the best to shoot in, but some of these came out really well. Flatten the curves out a bit. And no. Yeah, no. I actually don't think we need really any contrast adjustment. What I think I do need to do actually at this point is do a little spot check, a little dust and scratches. Which is so much easier to do on digitally than in the darkroom. My goodness. And I say this every single time I edit film. Every time. But for those of you who have never shot film or have never developed film in a darkroom, the way that, because you can try as hard, hey, I wasn't done. You can try as hard as you want to get rid of dust and scratches in a dark room. Get rid of dust and scratches on a negative, but try as you might, you're always going to have some. And sometimes it's incredibly noticeable, and the way that you try to omit that or reduce the appearance of dust, because the last thing you want is your potential audience to be looking at this wonderfully composed image and their eye immediately gets drawn to a bright white speck of dust, is that you would have these very, very fine, very thin paintbrushes, and you would have India ink, black ink, that you would dilute to the various shade of gray that the dust was at, and then you would with these very thin brushes, you would then stipple the dust out, and hopefully you got it right, and you match that gray, so it's a pretty seamless blend. Now, okay, that does not appear like a scratch. That appears like a blade of grass, because there was grass covering a lot of this, so I'm pretty sure that's grass and not dust. But I think we've done pretty good here. So. Make a new folder. One edits. And we'll call you 11. Oh no, that's not where I go. I want to call it 11. There we go. I swear I know what I'm doing. Nice. Oh no. Maybe. Nope, that actually was... Oh, hell. Okay. That actually is a speck of dust. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that will not do. I am gonna have to do my... I'm gonna have to rely on my old friend, the clone brush. Yeah. That's too small. Okay. Okay, let's see what it looks like before and after. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Okay. Yeah, let's do a new source point. No. And for anyone who is watching on Twitch, you're about to be subjected to an ad because capitalism. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, yeah, I like that better. That's better. Eleven are revised. Welcome back to any of you who are returning from an ad. So now we'll go to this one. I'd like an unconstrained crop, please. Fine, our blacks and whites. What am I getting hailed about? Oh. Yeah, I like that better. I like that much better. All right, let's do our spot removals. We don't have much on this particular one. But we do have a few obvious ones at any rate. I will say these are much easier to edit out than, say, water spots. That's an obvious dust. Yeah. That's fine by me. Hey. There we go. Export the image, please. Thank you kindly. All right. Let's go to another. Go to another. Let's do you. So we've got. There's so much variety here. Oh, I like you. Yeah, let's do that. That one is just completely worn away. So yeah, let's do that. I am liking the results on here. So the first so I shot, so it was 16 exposures per roll. So I shot 2 rolls, so 32 altogether. And so the first 16 rolls were shot on the first 16 images were shot on expired film, which is something I typically don't do. I don't usually shoot on expired film. And this was a roll of Ilford Delta that had been expired for about 2 years. So I just wanted to see if that had any effect on quality. And it doesn't appear to have done much in terms of any sort of degradation. Like, color film is a lot more forgiving. I mean, no, strike that. Black and white film is a lot more forgiving than color. But yes, if you're just joining me, thank you so much for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. I do enjoy the pleasure of your company. If we get a few more people in here, we'll be doing a giveaway because we crossed the $200 mark in my charity campaign. See if we get some more people joining us tonight. If not, then we'll wait until next stream. Right now, it's looking pretty quiet out there at the moment, so. Alright, let's start doing our dust removal here. Even when I try to do the best to remove dust from my scanner, as you can see, it don't always work out. Especially when I'm scanning my negatives at 2400 ppi. It picks up everything. Obviously, I don't have to be perfect. But I'd like to get the stuff that is very noticeable, at least to me. Yeah, I like this image. Like in the oldest part of the cemetery where you have the late 1700s and early 1800s headstones, I saw quite a bit of this. Just you had this sort of worn away, covered in lichen or moss, cracked, just sort of tilted type of stuff. I enjoy that in an old cemetery. So if we're looking at the before. Yeah. Mama Llama, welcome. You like the bokeh combined with a high content? Oh! Well, thank you. And how are you doing this evening? Let's see. That's a possibility. Nope, that one's next. Gonna do that one next. Ooh, there's a scanner picked up a lot of dust on that one. Not to worry.
We'll fix that.
So far, so good. Excellent. There we go. Let's see if I can do a thing. Let's see if this will work. No, don't want that. No, not quite what I had in mind. So let's try that. Oh god, no. No, no, no. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I want to focus more on the center than on the background. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, bot, hydrate away. Yes, yes, yes. So, since I have rejoined the ranks of Twitch affiliate, I can now accept subscribers and bits again, and I've also commissioned an excellent artist friend of mine to do some new emotes for me. So I'm very excited to share those once they're done making them. All right, and for those of you who are watching, you're about to have an ad. You're about to have capitalism assault at you. You're about to have an ad break. So. Just fair warning. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed getting assaulted by capitalism. Because I know that's just everyone's favorite thing. But good. So far, so good is lovely. I am glad that you are spending some of your Tuesday with me. I know that you love photography. You like my photography. You're one of my biggest fans, so. Always glad to have you. All right, so that's our before. That's our after. I like that a whole lot better. Thank you, Dr. Zizmore. I mean, Capture One. Yeah. My internet decided it wanted to be a dick momentarily. What went on with you there? That was awfully weird of it. Weird. You had a slight blip there. Anyway. I think it's about high time that we see if we can get a giveaway going, because so let's let me put on my 30-minute timer and we'll see if we get some people in here. If not, well then put it off. So as I typically do, I like to do giveaways for every $100 that I raise on a charity campaign. And so, given that we're currently doing some photography, the theme will be is that the winner of this giveaway will get a 4x6 framed picture of any of the images that I edit tonight. So we'll just start that going. So set it for 30 minutes. Write out the word death in the chat to be entered into the giveaway. And so hopefully we get at least 2 people. Start the 30-minute timer. And while that goes on, continue editing. Alrighty. So what am I doing with this? Oh, I know what I'm doing with this. Don't really think... You're always getting work. So, death! Cake or death? Mazan, good evening, and welcome. Welcome on in. So this particular headstone reads, in memory of Angeline Jenkins, daughter of Mr. Joseph B. and Mrs. Sally Jenkins, who died September 2nd, 1805, aged 5 months and 24 days. Again, get your kids vaccinated. Ah. And for those, let's see, yeah, we're almost an hour in. So, Mama Llama, you are currently entered into the giveaway. Right now, you are 1 of 1. But we've got another 27 and a half minutes to go before I do the giveaway. And again, I am raising money, as I am for every stream I'm doing this month, for the Trevor Project, which is an organization that provides critical resources for LGBTQ youth facing fear, lies, hostility, discrimination, and they deserve a safe space to connect with somebody who actually cares. It's something I wish that I had when I was a kid, when I discovered that I myself was queer, and it was very unsafe for me to actually come out and express that. So if you are able to donate, I very much would appreciate it. You'll have my undying gratitude. But if you can't, I understand. Money is tight. I understand. No judgment. All I ask is that you share the donate link around far and wide. So But yes, I'm doing a giveaway in 26 minutes. The giveaway is going to be a framed 4x6 print of any of the images that I edit tonight, or if you actually have a actual preference on any of the images I edit tonight. Yeah, so all you have to do is just type in the word death right in the chat. Oh, wait, way too high contrast there. We're currently almost halfway to my $500 goal for the end of the month. We're at 227 at the moment. And if we should happen to reach $300 by the end of tonight, then we'll be doing another giveaway. As a newbie, I ask dumb photography questions, so forgive me. Low base guy puts... I will actually tell you. Hold on. I'll show you the camera I was using. So this big boy here. This is my Pentax 645N. This is a medium format camera. Super Mario 64. That game is good down to the core. That game is sweet, playing it is not a big chore. So, yeah, it's a medium format camera. It shoots medium format film, and this is what I shot. I shot 2 rolls of film, which is what you're seeing me edit now. Why did I decide on Pentax? Because I could afford it. That was basically my only criteria, because I bought the camera used. And do I process the film myself? Yes, I do. I developed the black and white film myself. Last week, actually, I did the developing of the film live on Twitch. Yes, with its very long and pendulous lens. I know of Silver Grains. I've dropped in on 1 or 2 of their streams. So, oh, looks like we're getting some more people on in here. So yes, what am I down to now? Hydrate, everyone. 22 minutes. I am doing a giveaway. I'm giving away a framed 4x6 print of any of the images that I developed tonight. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is type in the word death. So right now I just have 1. Right now I have Mama Llama Sunshine in on the giveaway. Because Mama Llama is the only one who has typed out the actual word. Oh yeah, I like that so much better. I just need to edit out the usual dust and scratches. can make those smaller. I don't need to cover that wide of an area. I see, now my bot's woken up. Yeah, not only is it a long and pendulous lens, Mama Llama, it's also freaking heavy. I weighed that thing, and it weighs almost 5.5 pounds, which is a long time to be hanging off of your neck. I know there are devices out there, various harnesses that you don't have to do that, but, you know, money. They cost money. But, hopefully... Yeah, I mean, I do have a Patreon for all of my stuff, and as well as any, you know, all the money I earn on Patreon and through photo shoots and any subscribers that I get on Twitch, that all goes right back into my photography anyway, so... Let's go to one on the second roll. Let's go to you. I was taking some images of crypts. Oh, no. What was I doing? Oh, yes. I was going to do this. All right, we have an ad break coming up, people, so enjoy your capitalism. Fresh, hot capitalism for all to enjoy. Oh, we definitely have some dust and scratches on that one. Right there, that little noodly appendage. Beautiful. Right. There we go. Any other obvious dust and scratches points? Yes, we've got a couple of other spots. Pink, done. I mean, we always then have the fun part of, are you actually dust, or are you like part of the image, or are you just schmutz on my monitor? About an hour into the proceedings. So again, if you are just joining me, thank you for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. I always enjoy the pleasure of your company. And also just want to let you know that this is a charity stream, as I'm trying to raise money for the Trevor Project. If you are able to donate, I would very much appreciate it. I'd love you forever. But if you're unable to, then just spread the word that I'm trying to raise some money. We are currently about 13 minutes away of me doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a framed 4x6 print of any of the images that I am editing tonight. So to enter that giveaway, just type the word death in the chat. Just right now we have one person in on the giveaway. We have Mama Llama Sunshine that's currently in it. In about 13 minutes or so. Oh, yes, indeed. Right. What's another one that I... Let's see. What about you? You were one of the overgrown crypts in the cemetery. Thank you, bot. Do try and keep up. Not you. You. Okay, I really like this one. So, this is a completely overgrown set of headstones. You see that there are two here. There's Charlie and Emmy. Those are the footstones. The head is actually here. And the headstone it's for children, because in the center of these, it's our little darlings. So these are kids. These are kids' graves right here. We have about 8 minutes until I do the giveaway. Just type in death in the chat. Be entered for that framed 4x6 print. Yep. Okay. Next one. So this one I'm not going to edit just this moment, but this is just an interesting study in how cemetery designs were changing as we went from Revolutionary War era America into the early 19th century. So this is a husband and wife. So as you can see on the right, this is still in that very sort of Puritan style, very early American style of headstone with the stylized, angel, and the decorative motifs. And then so this was in memory of Mr. Lemuel Jenkins, who departed this life September 9th, 1789, aged 49 years, 1 month, and 13 days. And then we just jump forward 20 years to his wife, Mary Dunham, widow of Lemuel Jenkins, born November 5th, 1759, died November 18th, 1809, and there is some verse here that's kind of weathered away somewhat. So just as we get into the 1800s, this ornamentation, this, which I love, this style of headstone gives way to more plainer looking. Like we get rid of the ornamentation. It's a definitive separation of the styles that we brought over from England. Like, it starts to, it starts to adopt our own national identity, but I find our national identity in the early 19th century, as far as headstones are concerned, really fucking boring. Really fucking boring. But yeah, I took this picture just as a nice illustrative example of this is a 20-year difference. And I saw that quite a bit in this cemetery specifically, because this was a city, so Hudson, New York. I mean, this cemetery goes back to 1775. And you get to see that transition as you go from the late 1700s into the 1800s, and as you move further into the cemetery, we drift into the late 19th century and into the 20th century, and it's just fascinating to me. Very interesting to me. All right, 5 minutes or so away from the giveaway. Right now, it's only one person, and they're going to win it by default if no one else enters. So I'll put one more call in the chat. Right now, it is just Mama Llama Sunshine that is currently in the giveaway. The only person to actually write out the word death. Oh, actually, no. I don't want the elliptic on there. I want it on the image layer. Alright, the timer has run out. However, we're about to have an ad break, so I will wait until the end of the ad break. So, absolute last call on this giveaway. Framed 4x6 print of any of the cemetery images I'm editing tonight. Just type in the word death. Otherwise, our one entry is going to win it by default. Alright, well, it appears that I've only had one entry in the giveaway, and it was from Mama Llama Sunshine, the only one that actually wrote out the word death. So, you're going to win by default, my dear. So at the end of this, if there's a particular image that you had in mind, otherwise I will just pick one and send it to you. So next giveaway will happen at if we get to $300. You are very, very welcome. And that was the end of that album, so I am going to fire up another album. In keeping with the theme. Did I export you? I did not, so let's do that. What time is it anyway? Alright, almost 9 o'clock, so half an hour or so more. So I took a picture of this because this row is actually an entire family, and they're among some of the oldest headstones in the cemetery. I'm just actually curious if I can read any of that. Yeah, those are all been weathered to hell. So I'm going to edit this one. This is on the door of one of the crypts in the cemetery. And the thing that just amused me the most about this is that the door has this chain lock on it. Yeah, it was that one. The door has this chain lock. So my brain immediately gets to inventing stories. Something tried to break out. Somebody wanting to eat my brain or something like that. Like, I think the same thing whenever I see an old crypt that's, like, been cemented up or boarded up. And I'm like, oh. I mean, the actual answer was that it was probably vandalized or it was to prevent vandalism. But I like my idea of something tried to escape much better. Hey, Lobase, welcome on in. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling very productive. Like, after spending the first 6 months being in a mental and emotional funk and not doing anything photography related, the last month or so I've just been feeling insanely productive picking up the cameras again. I wonder why. So I'm doing all right. And how are you, my friend? Emotional Funk would be a kick-ass band name, but they would do a fusion. There'd be funk music, but then there'd also be sad kazoo sounds. They'd be like, just interspersed with it. I'm just having a good time. Enjoying myself. Yes, these are the scans of the negatives that I developed a week ago that you saw me do on stream. And this is the film right here. Ta-da! Which, now that you make me think of it, I don't know how many of you are watching have ever actually, you've never seen medium format film before. You might be familiar with just 35 millimeter. And if you're watching either here on live on Twitch, or you're watching me on this later on YouTube, maybe you might be a child who has never seen film in your life. So just for size comparison, this is what 35 millimeter looks like. This is where many of us are familiar with and has been the film standard since the 1960s or so. And then you compare it with medium format. So medium format is almost twice as big. Another one I want to play with. A bright sunny day. That's an orb that's lost some of its orb. Oh yes, we'll do this one since this was the other one. So this was the other one that I used in my promo on social media this afternoon. We had that one and we had this one. So. And I figure I should probably, at the very, very least, edit the ones that I use in my promo. And these were shot with my standard Ilford Delta 400. Like, I remember I used to be almost exclusively an Ilford HP5 shooter until one day on a whim I was like, you know what? Let's try Ilford Delta, and I have never looked back. Because HP5 was the film that I shot in college. When I could afford it, when I wasn't shooting like other film like T-Max or Tri-X, or even what was the really cheap for Arista. That was basically the cheap swill I could only afford because I was a broke college student type of Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Your photos of the Quaker Cemetery in Kershaw, South Carolina are actually on the state. That is awesome. That is really awesome, actually. That is something I haven't not yet done. Almost. No, I think they are. I think I think all of my cemetery images. No, that's not true. The vast majority of my cemetery images are from cemeteries taken in the Northeast, mostly New England. I think the one exception to that was when a few years ago when I was in Maryland, and I took pictures in the cemetery where Edgar Allan Poe is buried. But I can imagine that we've got some old death, particularly on the eastern, on the southern coastlines. I think we're good here. So this is almost certainly going to be my only stream this week, largely because this Friday, when I would normally be doing my video game streaming, I am going to be enjoying my my annual weekend of Dave Matthews Band. They're going to be in town, so I will most certainly not be streaming Chrono Trigger this Friday. And we'll go back to that next week. So, you guys are about to get an ad break. Apologies for the forced capitalism. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then maybe, if you're using a good ad blocker, no ads for you. Hey, done a lot of editing tonight. This is, I mean, black and white's pretty easy, so. Let's do you. Let's just get a close-up crop of you. Oh, good. We're back from that ad break now. No, I do actually want a pinch of contrast, even though that's very bright and very harsh. Yes, I do see the Dustin up there, so let's do that. So what I like to do with these close-up shots of the decorative ornamentation, I actually like to put these up on my Redbubble store because there's definitely a few people who buy them from me like in the form of greeting cards. So it's like, okay, there's definitely some interest on there for dead things.
You're bullshitting me. You're really bullshitting me. Really, really bullshitting. That can't be true. Impossible.
So since we're getting down to the last 15 or 20 minutes of tonight's proceedings, I'll just make one last call for donations. I'm again raising money for the Trevor Project, which is an organization that provides critical resource and counseling and help for LGBTQ youth that are living in an atmosphere of fear and lies and discrimination and need a safe place to connect with somebody. I will get to that in just a second, low base. So yes, if you are able to donate, just type in !donate. It'll pop up in the chat. Any amount is appreciated. It's a resource that I wish I had it when I was a kid. When I was discovering that I was bi, and I was living in a house where it was incredibly unsafe to come out because I grew up with a father figure that was a raging homophobe and a bigot. So, if you're able to, again, I would love it if you donate. You'd have my eternal gratitude. But if not, I understand. No judgment. All I ask is that you spread the word around. I'll put the donate link in the chat one more time. There you go. And again, every stream I do this month is going to be toward that goal, toward that cause. So it's very important. It's very important to me. And we're almost halfway there. We are $227 out of the $500 I hope to raise for the month. So, all right, Lobase, you redeemed voice modulator. I have not done this in a while. So let me pull up the hub. And I can only do this on this microphone because my USB headset died. So, how many different effects are on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. That's 20. So what I'm going to do, Low Bass, just for you, is I am going to roll a d20. And whatever number comes up, I'm going to go correspond it to one of the different voice effects. And we're going to have that for 5 minutes. And because I have no idea what it's going to sound like, because I cannot hear myself when I use one of these modulators, so you'll have to let me know how it sounds. I'm also going to hear it on the recording. So we'll do that, and then I will give you a photography fact in that modulated voice. All right, 1 to 20. 13. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so the modulated tone is going to be robot. And so 5 minutes starting right now. No idea what it sounds like, so you tell me. And you're gonna have a photography fact, because the bot is telling me you're getting one. Okay. So I was, did it. I mean, I'm according to the stream, I'm still on. So I'm still getting audio input. Unless that's just the way the mic goes. Is anyone else having that issue? Oh, it came back. Okay. Good. Alright, so for a photography fact, in 1925, Leica first introduced the 35mm format in still photography. Now, 35mm was the Hollywood motion picture standard for several decades. 35mm would not become the dominant format for still photography until the 1960s, but during that time, medium format was actually the standard until, again, it supplanted 35mm as the format. So, there you go. But also, just for fun, I'll give you one more. I'll give you a bonus fact. And that is that the human eye has equivalent f-stop values of f8.3 in bright conditions, bright environments, and f2 in dark environments. I wonder how scientists figured that out. I'd be very curious to know how they figured it out. So, alright. I might as well do some more editing. And do I have an ad break coming? No, I have a few more minutes until the ad break, so let's press on. Okie dokie. Let's do headless here. Well, actually, I don't know if it's meant to be headless or if it was just the top part of a cross that got lobbed off. But this is like one of the newer ones. but this is to Theodora, daughter of Theodore and Alice Miller. Died August 31st, 1877, age 16 years and 3 months. Their shade, I think it says, there shade be no night there. I'm very curious to hear what this robot voice sounds like when I listen to this recording. Okay. We actually don't need to do a whole lot to this one. Bring up some shadow detail. And go from there. No. Yep. And that's your 5 minutes. Let me go back to turn you back off. And we're back to normal voice. Yeah, I really actually don't have to do much to this one. Okay. I do see some dust and scratches up there, so we'll take care of that. This sure beats Stipple. Sure beats Stipple. My goodness. Like, I have some artist friends, illustrator friends, who really enjoy stippling. I mean, it's definitely good practice if you want to stab something thousands of times. People who knit and do crochet also probably probably enjoy. It's the stabbing feeling must be so cathartic. Alright, one more, and then that will be it for this evening. We'll do the open shot here. Actually, you know what? No. Not that one. I want to do... Just saw you. Where are you? That one. I would imagine, Mama Llama, that it's also a very good, a good way to defuse yourself. It's like, no, I cannot stab the actual person. I'm just going to stab some fabric instead. I'll just pretend that this person is something I can murder. Oh no! Not the last scented candle. And we have an ad break coming up, so for the last time tonight, enjoy your capitalism. Although if you subscribe to me, you can get rid of those ads completely. Well, Obase, you'll need to get some more scented candles then, it sounds like. Okay. Alright, we are getting right about done, so as I always like to do on my photo editing streams, we'll do a recap. And Mama Llama, since you were the winner of the giveaway, you will get the choice of which framed 4x6 you'd like me to send you. Unless you want me to just choose one at random. So we'll just start from the beginning in no particular order. So we'll go through, we'll start with the one that's got the bit of the broken cross. And we got the last one I just did. We have this one. And then we have one of the cropped art. Grave art. And that was the first one I started with. That was the first one I edited tonight. Hannah. And then we have this one, which had the headstone just buried and lying on its side. That was one of my promo images on social media. That was the other promo image. Our stylized angel here. And then we had the overgrown one of the kids' graves. And then we had this one. This is the lone dead center grade of a 6-month-old. We had our chain linked or chain locked crypt door. And then we had another one of another crypt door with some what looks like some cloth flowers and the 1891 on the door behind it. So those are the ones. So we did 14 or 13 images tonight. And again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a wonderful time, and thank you for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. It doesn't appear we got any additional donations tonight, but that's all right. There will be other chances this month. I will be back next week with hopefully a couple of streams. Hopefully another art stream and another Chrono Trigger stream. So, but the campaign continues. The donate link is active the entire month if you would like to contribute to that cause. Alrighty, my friends, let's see who is currently on. Let's see if I can bring the raid, bring you all over to somebody. We've got Tiny Dragon on Fire. We've got Ursa Crafta. Okay, we definitely have a couple of artists going on. Tiny Dragon is drawing feelings with dragons, which means there's going to be some inevitable cuteness happening. So I'll bring the party over to Tiny Dragon on Fire, especially since she's only just recently returned to streaming after like a 2-year hiatus. So we'll bring the party to Tiny Dragon. So have a great night, everyone. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe. Love you guys. Good night. And joy be with you all, everyone. Be well.